Sports, health, all of that is about productivity. People don't care about productivity. They want fun, they want, things that look good, that feel good, that connect them to their friends, but in a simple way, in a fun way. There's been a lot of these niche products in sports, lifestyle, military is another story, of course, but sports, lifestyle, and some health and quality of life sorts of niche products. But they've been very small and none of them have been a commercial success. So if you're asking me what I think will be a commercial success in the next 3 to 5 years, my personal opinion, and a lot of people disagree, but my personal opinion is that it has to come from the world of fashion and social, cultural kinds of applications. I really predict that the sorts of things we'll see on the street will come from this true integration of the virtual and communities such as Facebook, YouTube, etc., and the physical. I think fashion is undergoing revolution right now because there have been a lot of innovations in labs and in small design houses in the last 10 years. But in the last 2 years, it's really penetrated the mainstream haute couture. I think because it's now penetrating mainstream haute couture, I think it's on this breaking point that there will be a greater social acceptance of different technologies in garments. So I think on one hand, those technologies will specifically deal with customization and really individualized design, so you'll be able to have your own pattern on your shirt or the photo of your cat. On the other hand, these electronic and technological innovations will help introduce concepts of garments that are ideologically similar to history, so social aspects, showing your social class, showing your social relationships, all of those things that happen on the internet right now, the way you have all of these profiles online and you show your relationships, you show where you fit in the social fabric. There's a lot of emphasis in Canada on cultural industry. What does that mean? It's not clearly defined, but things like performance, fashion, various social cultural events. So what that means is I'm able to raise a lot of money, and I've raised over $1 million in the last 4 years to do research that is primarily cultural and social. I don't need to produce a product for Microsoft. I don't need to produce a product for, very traditional industrial commercialization. I can actually play and experiment and do things that aren't immediately obvious how they can be translated into products. I have this great luxury to be able to pursue areas of research that are more related to pleasure or beauty, because that's why the fashion industry exists. It's not about functionality. The fact that pleasure is one of our innovation goals, it's a very strange thing to say, but I think it's a very important way to look at innovation, because in the end, that's what people want, And in the end, that's what's going to cause the success of something, is if it gives you a better experience in terms of pleasure. So at XS Labs, we do all kinds of things. And there's one project that we finished recently that's very exciting, and that's called the Scorpions. And it's a series of dresses which really are in the fashion context. They're really designed by a fashion designer. They're really beautiful. They're not technology prototypes. We integrated shape memory alloys and specifically nitinol into the dresses to give them this dynamic behavior. So some of them open and close. Some of them, one has a hat where the hat kind of closes and opens again on its own. But it's a very organic, very natural movement, because shape memory alloys are not driven by motors. It's not mechatronic. It's really very organic. So it's like you have these living organisms on your body that move. this idea of a hybrid approach, or also I say multidisciplinary approach, is something I've always believed in. So I started my own education in the late 80s, and I did one math degree, one design degree, then I was working in multimedia, then I went to the MIT Media Lab, where it's very hybrid, it's very multi-everything. These ideas have become more mainstream, that you can be a programmer and an artist at the same time, it's okay. But still, that's not really enough, because one person can't do everything, right? So it's more about these notions of having a better understanding of other fields. What I do in my lab is when I have my researchers who are for computer science, I actually force them to do sewing. And when I have my researchers from design, I actually force them to build a circuit. I firmly believe that true innovation comes from areas of discomfort. So when you're taken from your place of comfort, like I'm a programmer, I'm the best, I'm much better programmer than you are, but when you actually take me out of my area of comfort and place me into an area of discomfort, that's when I will get a new perspective on what I do. And that's where I think a lot of our innovations have come from, is from creating these tensions and these areas of discomfort where suddenly you're looking back at yourself from a different point of view, and you get this really crazy, bizarre idea that you wouldn't have had otherwise.